taking the time to talk to us.
No problem.
TNA's heading into Pittsburgh for some TV show tapings. You and others are going to be there, and obviously that's going to be streaming free on the new TNA Plus. I hear that at that taping you're going to be celebrating Elijah's birthday. Have you picked out a present for him, Joe?
Um, nope. Not sure what else to add to that one. I have to say, there aren't too many people I buy birthday presents for, and you know what? Elijah's a great friend, but I have not considered what birthday present I will be purchasing.
Now, what's it been like? He's a new addition to TNA. What's it been like teaming up
You
with
know
you?
what? I'll tell you, a Joe Hendry guitar pick. There you go.
Oh, there, that would be
There you go. There you go.
personalized and everything.
That's it.
What's it been like to team with him? He's come new entry into TNA, and he's had your back.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a phenomenal performer. He's, done it at the highest levels. So it's very cool to, I think it's cool for the fans. It's cool for us as well to have two totally different musical acts, but work in a way that can kind of, cross paths and we can, do concerts together, but also tag and do other things. It's an exciting combination.
Now, in front of the camera, behind the scenes, is there any kind of friendly competition there since you're both musicians and you're both wrestlers?
Well, I think the cool thing is that we both do very different types of music.
Right,
Like we
right.
we do, our acts are very different. I think that's what makes it work as well. It's like yes, we both do musical things, but the music that we've done in wrestling is completely different. So it's fun to bring the two of us together because it's kind of musically comparing apples and oranges.
Do you think I see it this way, but do you think it's going to make you both up your games?
Absolutely, there's always friendly competition in the TNA wrestling book.
Now, obviously, you've had some time to think about this, to contemplate this, but you did lose the championship to Trick Williams. How are you feeling today about all of that?
It feels horrible, to be honest. I was the team captain and I dropped the ball, and now the TNA World Championship is on WWE territory. So someone has to get it back, and I believe that someone has to be me.
Now, you've also been helping out Elijah a bit. Would you be in for a push for him to grab that title?
Well, I was, I think the priority is to get it back to TNA wrestling.
Right.
He obviously had championship opportunity against all odds,
Right.
and so there's a lot of question marks over the division right now. I do believe that I'm the person to do it. I do have a contractual rematch that I've not exercised yet, so that is going to be very important.
Now, we've seen, he's only held the belt for a little while, but we've been seeing what kind of champion Trick has been, both on
Yeah,
NXT television and on TNA television.
yeah.
What's your assessment of what kind of champion he's been?
Well, I think that Trick is a phenomenal athlete. He's got a huge amount of charisma. I think that he probably needs to employ someone else to come up with catchphrases because Trick NA is just about the worst thing I've ever heard in my entire life. But hey ho, that's what we're running with. I do think that he is a super talented athlete. He obviously got the W over me, so cannot be underestimated. Um, but again, I do question his commitment to TNA wrestling. But again, why should he be committed to TNA wrestling? He's an NXT superstar. So do I think he's the man to lead TNA wrestling? No, no, I do not. Do I think it's Mike Santana? No, not right now. I think it's me.
Right. Now, we've seen recently that Trick has been sort of teaming up with First Class. What do you think about that? Because, as some would say, that's no class.
I think that's a better name for the tag team. Yep. Anytime anything good happens to AJ Francis is deeply upsetting to me. So for him to be anywhere near the championship or out there to new eyeballs or on a new television, on a different television show, it's upsetting. It's upsetting to me. I've tried to kick AJ Francis out of the business, but unfortunately, I hate to say it, the man is talented, so he is a huge threat. So he's a great athlete. He's he's a talented musician as well. This hurts me to say these things. And Casey Navarro is a super talented athlete as well. So first class and Trick Williams, they have quite the alliance there. So yeah, that is something I need to be very mindful of.
Now, we watched on the last episode of Impact, we saw you come to the rescue, and then you ended up fighting not only Trick, but the system joined in. What is
Yeah,
that all about? What's going on?
yeah. Again, same with the system. Just awful. I just any way that I can sidestep Brian Myers or be away from Brian Myers. It's yeah, he has just been a thorn in my side since the day I got here to TNA Wrestling. So yeah, the system are there. You always have to worry about the system. You know what I mean? You can't. They just always they keep appearing. They never go away. There's three certainties in life: death, taxes, and the system are going to show up.
Over the weekend, we saw you in AAA, and they sang your song was done in Spanish for the audience there. Were you surprised by the reaction? How was it to be accepted and by the Mexican fans there?
It was a beautiful moment for me. It was
Yeah.
unbelievable. Like I say, it's to get that reaction in Mexico, just to know that that support there is for me. Like I really appreciate it. I love Mexico. I love the Mexican people. So to get that reaction, it honestly meant the world to me. I've done Bound for. I was in the world title match at Bound for Glory. I was in the Royal Rumble. I wrestled Randy Orton at WrestleMania, and I've appeared at Triple Mania. So that is four of our industry's huge events that I've been able to be a part of. So it was a huge honor and a privilege.
Well, you mentioned in previous interviews about, in particular, Mr. Iguana, about wanting to
Mhm.
possibly take him on. And what's interesting about, I
Oh no,
find,
no, no, no. Not take him on. Tag with Mr. DeGuara.
well, there you go. What would be interesting, I think, about that teaming is that you're so obviously your Scottish heritage is a big part of your persona, your time in wrestling. His hometown, which is home of the biggest iguana population in Mexico, is first on his mind too. He's all about representing his hometown. I think there's a meeting of the minds there. You both have something very much in common.
Absolutely. Look, I think the honestly, if me and Mr. Iguana team up, this is going to do insane business for everybody. We need to have Joe Hendry and Mr. Iguana in a tag team match in the next year. It has to happen.
Now, looking at this year has been an amazing year for wrestling. You have like AAA, TNA, WWE all coming together. There's this huge kind of like tornado of change. And Joe, you've been in the center of all that.
Mhm.
How has it been, not only as a performer, but I mean, the scheduling, all this kind of stuff? I mean, you're in the middle of this huge whirlwind of that's going on. What is it like to be in the middle of all this?
Well, this is what I keep saying. Everybody wants to sit in the chair until it's time to sit in the chair. As TNA World Champion appearing on WWE television, TNA television, AAA, like, and not only that, but all the other obligations that you have. It's a huge responsibility, and it's an opportunity that I pride myself on taking to continue to promote TNA wrestling, and to do these interviews. You know, I mean, here's the thing: there's a number of people that you could put in this spot. You know, as TNA World Champion, Trick Williams really should be doing these interviews, but his loyalty is not to TNA wrestling, and that's
Right.
the issue. That's why I need to get the TNA Championship back, because when people think about my championship reign, I do not think I got a fair shake at being the world champion. I do not think I was given the opportunity to run with the ball in the short reign that I had. But in the time that I had it, I believe we did phenomenal business and brought unprecedented eyes to TNA wrestling. So I deserve to pick up where I left off.
Now, you talked about TNA has been expanding with its audience now. There's Japan, Mexico, the UK. Where would you like to see TNA get a foothold in? Is there any particular area that you think it would benefit them greatly to expand into and tap into that global fan base?
Yeah, like Germany is like a second home for me professionally.
Right.
Germany, like I was over in Germany like I am now, way before I was anywhere else. Like just after COVID, I went over to Germany and it was insane. So Germany was really the first place to get behind me like the way that things are now. So yeah, I think that it would be awesome to see TNA wrestling in Germany. And selfishly, I'd love to wrestle in Japan because I haven't done that yet. That's kind of like the one that I haven't been able to do yet.
Now, obviously, there's various competition out there for fans' dollars. TNA's coming, to Pittsburgh and all sorts of other areas around the world. What would you say to a fan? Why should a fan spend their money on the TNA product? Why should they come to see TNA?
I think that TNA Wrestling is a brand that excels at contributing to professional wrestling. If you look at TNA wrestling, its fingerprints are all over the industry. The X division was really the precursor for the modern style of wrestling. The Knockouts division set the tone, in my view, for what women's wrestling has become. Tag team wrestling is a huge focus as well. Like TNA's commitment to divisions, I think, has inspired other companies. And we've seen that regardless of what happens, TNA has always found a way to survive, and now we are thriving for a multitude of reasons. But one of the great reasons is because we just put on a damn great wrestling show. It's the ultimate variety show, and there's something for everyone. If you spend your money with TNA Wrestling, we will make sure that you get value for that.
Now, part of your performance has always been, I mean, there's the lighthearted, there's the digs at your musical digs at other wrestlers and stuff. Have you ever been worried that the music or that tone is going to take over your character? How do you balance all of that? Because you could easily go the one way or the other, right?
No, I don't worry about it at all. I don't worry about that at all. For me, it's about um, it's about entertaining the fans. And I think that I'm fortunate in my situation that I'm able to I think like Kurt Angle was a real influence for me because he was someone that could be completely silly 1 second and embrace the comedic side of his character, but also be a respected main eventer. And he was one of the greatest of all time. So I look at Kurt Angle and I think, wow, I would aspire to be that good one day.
Now, we've heard you in the past and recently too. You keep calling out John Cena. You want John Cena in the ring. Has there been any movement towards that? Has there been anything on your end?
No, no, there has not. But then again, I didn't know that I was going to be in the Rumble until the week of. I didn't know that I was going to be at WrestleMania until shortly before. I don't know about things way before they happen. I don't know. All I can do is tell you that I feel in my heart that I will wrestle John Cena. It's as simple as that. And put it this way, if I do get to wrestle him, it will be on me. If I don't get to wrestle him, it'll be my fault. It's John Cena made it very clear to me, it's on my shoulders. It's on my shoulders. I'm the one that needs to make it happen, and I'll do everything in my power. If it doesn't happen, it won't be due to lack of trying, but I really believe in my heart that it will happen.
Now that's the way it seems a lot of things are, because again, you have AAA, WWE, TNA, all of these different angles, all of these different stories combining throughout. How confusing, or do you feel like you're being battered about? How is it like? I'm sure there's a lot of things that are last minute, a lot of things are proposed and changed. How is it being through that? Is being flexible more important than ever?
I think that it's just if put it this way, when the train arrives at the station, if you don't get on, someone else is going to get on it. It's just as simple as that. You are a cog in the machine, and sometimes I was taught this by my wrestling mentor. Sometimes you just have to say yes. That's what being a top talent is. You have to say yes. You have to deliver. You have to solve problems. And thankfully, I pride myself on having been able to do that in multiple companies for a long period of time now. Like I would put my schedule over the last 13 to 18 months up against anyone. Like there was a point where I was at the performance center where I was training full time at the performance center. I was doing TNA, I was doing NXT, I was doing indies, I was doing signings all at once. And again, whilst being back there on Monday morning to show up first thing to train in the performance center, I put my schedule up against anybody's, and I'm incredibly proud of that. In this business, you have to be durable. And yeah, I mean, either you step up to the challenge or you move aside, and I'm just not willing to do that. I've worked too hard to get here, so I accept that to be in this position, there are certain sacrifices that must be made, and I will make them.
That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, we've heard, I mean, obviously, in the old school world of wrestling, those personal sacrifices were far much greater, far much more time. We're talking about, Some people weren't home for their families because they're on the road so much. It's a little bit easier right now, but it's still very hard.
Is it? How's it? It's not easier for me, my friend.
Well,
I mean, there was a point where I think I was home for like 3 days in 7 weeks, you know?
wow,
So again, I would put my schedule up against the old school schedule. Now, part of that is because I live in Scotland, right?
right.
So I'm in the process of moving over, so things will be a little easier, I guess, once that's done. But I really have made the sacrifice, and I'm willing to do it. And it's just, reactions like Mexico, things like that, they just give you that little boost that you need sometimes. Meeting the fans at the meet and greet and just seeing the support, you're like, I gotta keep going. I gotta do it. I can't stop.
And I must believe that it can't be only the support of the fans because you must also thrive on that support at home. You must have a really good support system back home to push you forward,
Yeah,
especially in this kind of vocation and industry.
yeah, absolutely. Like, I've got a dog back home, so my family have been incredibly supportive with
Oh,
looking
yeah.
after him. And my sister is moving house.
Wow.
She's got her own kids. There's a whole lot going on, but she's like, yeah, no problem. I'll look after the dog. So, and my dad looks after the dog when I can't get home, and
Right.
so I'm really well supported with that. If I didn't have so much help with looking after the dog, it would be tough. But you
Well,
know.
Joe, it was great talking to you. All the best in the future. Love to talk to you again, and we're hoping you get that rematch soon.
Thank you, my friend. Good to chat.
Take care.